In this video, we're going to tables within the TeamGenius assessment. You can find tables in 4 different areas: under Player Check-in, the Results tab under Player Rankings and Manage Scores, and also under Send Emails within Messaging. If we go into Player Check-in first, as we can see here, you have this table that is able to be filtered if you would like to do so. You could also search for a player that will then pull up that player within the table, or you can filter by player pool as well. Any of this information you can export by clicking on the Export button. You could also decide to rearrange your columns on the grid by clicking on Choose Columns here. This will allow you to show and hide certain columns. If you see an X through the I, that means it's hidden. If you see the I as visible, no X through, that means that it is going to be showing on your table. You could also filter the columns that you see here. So all columns should have a filter icon. If for whatever reason you don't see that, maybe it's hidden as such, just expand the column and then you should be able to click on that filter and filter appropriately. The next area that we're going to see this table is in the results page. And so it's going to look slightly different than what we see here due to a recent modification. Player rankings here, we can see this is the table. And so if it is collapsed like this, you can expand the table by clicking on this icon right here that looks like an arrow. And from there, you can see similar options to what we saw on the player check-in page. So you can configure the table by choosing different columns, resetting it to default if you'd like to do so. You can export the same way that you can from the player check-in page. You could also see a view here of how you want to display your table. So overall rankings, if you have multiple sessions, it will show you this overall score for those sessions and how that equates to the TeamGenius overall rating. You could also click on a specific session to see those scores. If you wanted to see the scoring form level within that session, just click on the arrow icon next to the session. Then you'll be able to see the scoring form and all the raw scores that were recorded. You could also filter by evaluator. So if we click on the evaluator tab, if you had multiple evaluators, you could click on one evaluator to see the scores that that evaluator submitted. If you knew that they submitted scores for just one player pool, you can also filter a player pool here to find their scores. And again, that can be exported once you have your table set the way that you would like. If you click on the evaluator weights, this is where you can adjust weights by evaluator too. If we scroll down a little bit more, edit weights, as long as you're on the session level within your view, you are able to edit weights on those scoring forms. So in this scenario, we could edit those weights, and then that will adjust the overall rating for all pools, or you can go pool by pool. Manage Teams will actually take you to the Manage Team page here. So it takes you out of that result page, just FYI. So you can collapse the menu, access all of the functions, the same way that you can as if it was expanded. If we were to go into Manage Scores, very similar to the player rankings page in that this menu is collapsible and you can see all the same data here. If we go to messaging, slightly different. Here you're able to filter the same way that you can within all the different tables. You could also select multiple filters. So if you wanted to send an email out to 2 teams, for example, you can filter by those teams, select your players, and then create your message. If you click on this gear icon, you could also choose additional columns to show. A little bit more basic. As we can see here, it's not going to pull in any scores, but it will pull in anything that you might have gathered during that import process. So if you have any questions about how to configure your tables within TeamGenius, let us know. You can email us at help@teamgenius.com or click on this help icon down here at the bottom right of your account to see other support articles or to send in a ticket. Thank you.